So can you tell Shamina if she thinks it's
So I'm going last.
You can't even see her.
scared?
No.
Nelson won the contest. He's going last for the closing remarks. Okay. That means you'll go first this time.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, I'm supposed to.
I know. Why don't you ask Miss Muzan because
No, don't. She got it wrong.
Mr. Nelson won the coin toss.
Yes, I know. So
So he goes first.
does this and he goes last?
Yes, he goes first for the opening and last for the closing.
So it's this one then.
Yes, he's a Republican.
So then you have to tell them to switch.
I just did.
Oh, all right.
Okay?
It's switched. She just told me. She just told me everything switched. So it's this. Okay.
okay. So just do what we're gonna do. Just don't worry about it. Shamina's gonna ask. So
That'll never happen again.
What, Obama?
just keep it the same.
Yo. What? All right. All right. We're gonna start now. Okay. You can't hear it at all. All right. And now for our last debate, we have Mr. David Kiner and Mr. Ken Nelson running for the 59th General Assembly District seat. You may now give your 1-minute introduction, Mr. Kiner.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're going to go with him first.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Ken Nelson, and I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Just a few things about myself. I'm born and raised in Enfield. I've devoted my life here. My business is here. I've taken boarded up properties in Thompsonville, pulled the boards off, and made them home for many families, and I've done this all with my own money. I know what it takes to move a business forward, to make it successful, and to see them fall. Without taking a chance yourself, you're never going to get anywhere. We have to show the business people they can trust Connecticut again. They need to come back to our state. They need to help us create the jobs, and the jobs are what generate the taxes. This year, I voted to support 4 new police officers, a police dog, an increase to the police budget, $1.2 million for the Board of Education between $800 in excess cost and $400,000 they had left over from this year we moved to next year. We added funding back to the library, fully funded the Network Against Domestic Abuse, fully funded the food shelf. We did all this without raising the taxes here in Enfield. It can be done. Some of us don't like the tough choices we have to make to do it, but I am willing to make those choices before I go and raise your taxes. I'm tired of the shell game. I'm tired of them hiding the taxes in, your electric bill and every other
Your time is
place.
up. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Mr. Kiner.
Thank you very much. And Ken, not only are we dressed alike this evening, our opening statements are pretty similar too. Good evening, everybody. My name is David Kiner. I'm a member of your town council. I'm running for state representative. Before I begin, though, I would like to thank Fermi High School for hosting this debate this evening, and especially to the Youth Vote program for all of your hard work that you've put into getting this together tonight. I was born and raised in Enfield and a graduate of Fermi High School. After high school, I went to Eastern Connecticut State University, where I received a degree in political science. After college, I returned back to the town that I love to get involved, to find a job, and to give back to the community that I grew up in. I joined the Lions Club, and I was appointed to the Enfield Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission. I was elected to the town council in 2007 and re-elected again in 2009. I'm asking for your vote on November 2nd so that I can go to Hartford and not just be a vote, but be your voice, and continue to fight for you as I have done on the town council.
Thank you.
Mr. Nelson, in conducting research, it was noticed that in the current.com 2010 voters guide that both your profile and Mr. Serrard's profiles and priorities were exactly the same, word for word. Can you explain this? Do you have different views? Should voters assume that you will always vote along Republican lines?
If you check my record shows I'm the last person that goes party lines. When the Republicans asked me to get involved, I said specifically that. If you're looking for somebody to follow the line, I'm not your guy. But if you're looking for somebody who is going to fight for what they believe in for the people, that's me. And in 5 years on the council, if you watch those meetings, you will see I will fight for you. I will fight for what I feel is best for Enfield, and I will continue to do that at the state level. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Mr. Kiner?
I'm looking out into the audience, I see some of my former teachers. I think I would have gotten some pretty serious trouble if I did that. But, on the broader issue, you'll never, ever get that from me either. I don't toe the party line. I'll be an independent voice in Hartford, and not just a party line vote. Like the Deputy Mayor stated, I voted with them countless times. I will be Enfield's voice in the state legislature.
Thank you.
Mr. Kiner, you have indicated that one of your top priorities is property tax reform. Considering Connecticut's current economic crisis, what would you do as a state representative for property tax reform?
Sure, that's a great question. Serving on the town council now for 3 years and knocking on thousands of doors now running for state representative, that is the biggest problem, property taxes. Enfield's not alone in this, what I'm about to say. A majority of your property taxes goes to pay to education. Right now, the state of Connecticut has a formula. It's called Education Cost Sharing, or ECS. The state of Connecticut funds their municipalities at 74%. I'm going to go to Hartford, and I'm going to make sure that the speaker and the majority leader know that Enfield needs more than 74% of that money. If more education dollars is brought back to Enfield, that'll help lower the property taxes. There are many other options out there that other states have initiated that I would like to explore in a bipartisan manner. I think everything in this next legislative session must be done bipartisanly. We have quite a budget hole, and I will work to get that done for Enfield.
Thank you, Mr. Kiner. Mr. Nelson?
I'd be afraid to have the state get involved in our property tax. I believe let the municipalities run themselves. And I believe it's just the same with let a teacher teach the children. Every student in this school has a different need, and you need to let that teacher learn their needs and teach. The state, I am not a teacher. My opponent is not a teacher. How can we go to the state and tell these teachers how to do their job? And if they don't succeed, you can't put any blame. I mean, we're telling them how to educate a student. I'm not a teacher. I don't have that answer. Let the teachers do their job. And get rid of all the mandates, funded or unfunded. Again, let each town be its own entity. Let a family decide which town they want to live in because of the education system. And if Enfield falls short, people aren't going to want to move here, and our property values are going to fall. And the people living in the town are not going to stand for that. They're going to demand better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Nelson, why are you running for this term in office, and what do you plan to do in order to improve the quality of life in your district?
I am running because 5 years on the council has shown me we can do it without raising taxes. Like I said, I'm a business owner in town. I am a struggling business owner in town. I own a real estate company. My income is down 70%. So for me to sit by and watch people who work for the state get raises and think nothing of it, to see people in soup lines who a congressman walks by and says, oh, I see you got potatoes. And they say, they don't want potatoes, they want jobs. And to see how this state is running, why would a business come here? I'm starting to have second thoughts. And that's very hard for me to watch since I'm born and raised here. It's time we go to the state with somebody who knows how to run a business and knows what it's going to take to keep the doors open and knows how to attract them into the state. Tax incentives. If you give tax incentives to a large employer, the employees they hire, they are in turn going to pay taxes. It's a big circle. We need to get them back in this state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Mr. Kiner?
Thank you. Why am I running for state representative? Because I love this town, and I'm a fighter. You know, I grew up in a household with a commitment to public service and helping others that has influenced me greatly. Now, I in turn am giving back to the community that has given me so much. On the town council now, and I'm going to go to Hartford. My top priority is you, the town of Enfield. I will never stop fighting for Enfield. I will be their voice.
Thank you.
Its voice.
Mr. Kiner, with the release of the documentary, Waiting for Superman, there was a renewed energy for reform in public education.
In your opinion, what reforms will best improve education in Connecticut, and how should they be funded?